Alrighty. So, welcome, YWCA and fellow IMEers. We are Trainbridge Connections, and with me today, I have Tia, Corey, Brittany, and Jacqueline, and myself, Alex. And we're here to go over our proposal for the fundraiser event that happens at the end of this semester, which is Yes to No Fixed Address. So, before that, just a quick little agenda outlining what we're going to talk about today. So, going to just go over a little background information outlining what the event is, the proposal of the event officially, a timeline and delegation of activities that lead up to the event, wrap-up event focus as well, just to kind of outline and spot on that, then a cost budget, just so that you guys are aware of what sort of costs are out there for it, and a conclusion and a period for questions. So, as some of you may know, the YWCA has 5 annual events each year, and with Walk a Mile in Her Shoes, which happens on September 22nd as their big main focus event. So, who here's heard of No Fixed Address? Alrighty, just us, good, that's great, that's fantastic. Alrighty, so a little bit about No Fixed Address is it's in its 2nd annual year. It's a 15-hour fundraiser taking place on May 13th and is where participants gather pledges for an overnight vehicle campout marathon to combat poverty and homelessness in the Lethbridge area. So since No Fixed Address is relatively new to the Lethbridge area and is the newest fundraising event that the YWCA wants to promote and sponsor, we propose that it's so soon to the time for the IME fundraiser that we would like to focus our efforts on this, working with the YWCA rather than for them, to help promote this event and gather donations, pledges, sponsorship, and awareness. And with that, I'd like to pass it off to Tia to talk about our SWOT analysis.
Thanks, Alex. So we conducted a SWOT analysis of No Fixed Address, and from that, we determined that one of the strengths is that the YWCA is a well-known not-for-profit within the Lethbridge community, and this can be used to assist with generating the awareness and donations that we plan to do. Another important strength is that No Fixed Address is for a great cause, which is to raise funds and awareness for homelessness in Lethbridge. However, a weakness is that the YWCA has expressed a need for social media management and may currently not be reaching their target demographics. More specifically, there's a lack of reach and awareness within the Lethbridge student demographics. So, an opportunity, IME in itself is an opportunity for the YWCA to tackle their social media issues and create awareness and raise funds. As students, we have easy access to the student demographics. Our proposed fundraising campaign will directly target students and will begin raising awareness and funds 1 month earlier than the previous years that the YWCA has done it themselves. However, there is a threat to fundraising in general is the sheer amount of not-for-profits fundraising at the same time. For example, 5 Days for the Homeless is raising funds for the same social issue and targeting the same demographics at the same time. An issue with recognizing is the potential for donor fatigue at this time of year. And another threat is the large number of students leaving Lethbridge at the end of April. And since they may not be able to participate directly in the event, they may not be willing to donate or register. So our proposed fundraiser centers around the goal of creating awareness and extending the YWCA's ability to reach the student demographic. To achieve these goals while raising money, we intend to create a 3-week donation campaign at 3 different locations that will target and penetrate the students. At the conclusion of the campaign, we will host a wrap-up fundraising event that will be attended by a YWCA representative to celebrate the successes of our campaign and create even more awareness, and the event will also continue to raise funds. And I will now pass it off to Jacqueline to discuss the timeline of this event.
Thank you, Tia. So we just wanted to visually kind of give you what we see this event looking like. In the orange here, we've highlighted 5 Days for the Homeless, which takes place in the middle of March already. So to avoid that donor fatigue that Tia just mentioned, we propose that we try and snatch up the community table at the last Hurricanes game, which will of course be a full house because they're doing so well, and then move to Lethbridge College and sit at booths there for 1 week. And then because it's most easiest for us as IME and current U of L attendees to sit at the U of L campus, we'll do the remaining 2 weeks at the U of L campus and kind of switch up locations. And then, of course, we'll wrap everything up on April 11th with our event. And now I'll pass it off to Brittany to explain how we're going to make that happen.
Thanks, Jacqueline. So given that this campaign is 3 weeks long, we're definitely going to need all of your guys' manpower in order to make it a success. So because of that, we've made a little delegation slide just so that you guys can visualize exactly where we're going to need all of you guys to help us out. So for example, if you take a look, there's one line there that says registration forms. So we see this as being a really big job. Given that the tables, we want to have donations, but we also want to have sign-ups for people participating in No Fixed Address. So the person who's in charge of the registration forms would either be making a form or working with the YWCA with a pre-existing form in order to have that at the tables. They would also be in charge of any privacy or confidentiality issues that arise with that. Another job would be the manning the actual tables, which we see as being the biggest job because it is a 3-week campaign. So we see this as a minimum of 2 people at each table. And ideally these would be during our IME work periods or within this chunk. So that way it kind of reduces the amount of stress and the added responsibility that we're asking of you guys. So it's less stress for you. And of course everyone at the booth we'd need your pretty smiles and lots of enthusiasm to make sure that this has the most reach that it can. So with that, I'll give it back to Tia to talk about our wrap-up event.
Thank you. So our campaign wrap-up event will be hosted at the Penny Building in the Art Gallery. We will be selling tickets for $20 per person, and there will be a silent auction to continue raising funds to increase awareness and help us celebrate the success of our campaign. As we mentioned before, we would like a YWCA guest speaker to attend and speak on the YWCA's behalf. And also, for further entertainment, we will be providing appetizers, and we intend to have an art show. And Corey will discuss the budget of our overall campaign.
Thank you, Tia. So as you can see above, we have devised a budget report just to give you guys a visual representation of the allocation of revenue and expenses. So starting at the top, you see a sales revenue of $1,000. So with a ticket of only selling price of $20, we believe that we can sell approximately 50 tickets with the given time period. Then we will go minus our cost of goods sold, such as tickets, giving us a total gross margin of $950. Then we will subtract our expenses, such as stationary items and food expenditures, giving us a total net profit of $250. Keep in mind that this net profit does not include your donations, your pledges, and your silent auction items. Okay. So with the given time period, with simple calculations, we believe that you only need to sell about 4 tickets per day to reach our target sales. Therefore, we believe this is completely manageable and doable. Lastly, this campaign does not only provide donations to the YWCA, it also educates and creates awareness within the Lethbridge community. And we're going to pass it off to Jacqueline just to conclude the presentation.
Thanks, Corey. So as we presented to you today, maybe our proposal isn't as elaborate as some of the other proposals that you're going to see for this morning, but because of that, we feel that this is maybe a very sustainable campaign, and since No Fixed Address is going to continue on in the future, this is maybe something that the YWCA could do at a later date as well. And then, of course, hopefully we've hit it home that this campaign that we're presenting to you today is about educating and getting the awareness out for No Fixed Address. And we feel that right now this is a great opportunity for IME to help YWCA expand that reach and awareness for No Fixed Address. And with that, is there any questions?
Just give me 1 second. Basically,
I think I missed it. When are you wanting to hold this event? Like, when does it held?
So it's going to be a 3-week campaign that'll start March 18th. We're going to hopefully, we've been talking with the Hurricanes to their last game is March 18th, and there's a community table that's always at the Hurricanes game, and right now it's open, so we're hoping that we can sit at that table and then move to Lethbridge College for 1 week, and then the U of L campus for 2 weeks, and then the wrap-up event taking place on April 11th. Yes.
Why students? Like, why are you targeting students? Like, this is a very relatively, not very well-known event in the community, so why are you just focusing on students?
Well, as Alex did a poll at the beginning of the class, no one here knew what No Fixed Address was, and the Lethbridge community, it's like 70% is student demographic. And this event has that issue that it happens May 13th, so students are leaving. They don't get the opportunity to find out that the event is actually taking place. So we want to try and capture some of those students and get their interest before they leave so that there's an opportunity for them to stay and participate in the event.
For raising awareness to the student population, is your target just to do it by word of mouth and by tabling? Or are you planning on using stuff like the Twitter and Facebook and everything to spread awareness for this event?
Yeah, so on the delegation slide, there was social media as one of the line items. There will also be promotional posters. Word of mouth will be a big one for sure, and the enthusiasm at all of the tables. So we'll make sure that with the YWCA, everyone's educated on our campaign as well as No Fixed Address. So all of the information given will be 100% valid and well put together so that it is word of mouth, but all of our social media that we're all experts at now, we can definitely use as well.
I know that you guys mentioned donor fatigue, and again, that's why you're hosting it the week that you are.
Yeah.
But you're also hosting it in April when students are notoriously broke. And also in April, students are going to be locked away as opposed to March when they are more likely to go buy retailing. Is that going to affect any of the information?
Well, most of our fundraising activities is still during that March period. It's a big 3-week spread where there's that awareness and that ability to approach these tables, and only 1 week in April where we're actually doing the core fundraising. It's just the event in April 11th. So there's still that March time period as well. So I don't think that'll be too much of an issue.
The event itself too, we've put ticket prices at $20, and at this event, we didn't mention it on the slides, but we actually don't really want to sell alcohol at the event. We want it to, because of what YWCA stands for, we didn't think that was a make or break necessity for the evening, so it will just be appetizers, which is why we can have such a low ticket price, and then having the silent auction and then the guest speaker just to again highlight that education piece. So hopefully $20, and then the $20 ticket price, that doesn't necessarily need to be students. We can all reach into our own networks and try and get the community to attend the event, because it is great, like Christian mentioned, to make sure that the community is aware that this event takes place every year as well. So we're not restricting the event to the student demographic, but we want to make sure that the student demographic is the one we're campaigning towards so that they understand that the event takes place every year.
You mentioned the food costs. Who is your quote from?
We actually went to all 3 approved vendors. We got all of their menus. We pulled out what we would serve, what would be feasible for 50 people. And then from that, we took our budget and left it where it was, and that's without a discount. LA Chef said, come to us with a budget. We will work within your budget. Same with Country Kitchen, said the exact same thing. If you give us a budget, we'll fit within it. And Aramark is on board in the same way as well. So it's it's easy to stay within.
You have a profit of $250. Do you have any idea the amount based on the other things, like even if it's not on paper, projections of what those could potentially bring in?
For the sound auction, it could be like, what, $10,000 or something?
No.
Good thing I said that in confidence, guys.
An example of 5 Days for the Homeless, I think they raised, $11,000 walking around with their change cans. So we intend to collect the same donations at our table. It won't have the same impact, obviously, we're not sleeping outside during the campaign, but we will definitely collect something in those times.
Yeah. We'll know over 3 weeks that we'll at least make over $100, right? So that's why we're saying that $250, it's very safe. We know that if we manage to sell our 4 tickets a day, that we'll at least be making $250, and that's beside all of those very volatile and unpredictable fundraising initiatives that we've outlined for you.
Anything else? All right, thank you.